rolling. Walking across the street, blah, blah. As we go our merry way, do. Yeah. Essentially, what the hell am I doing? I'm going for a walk. I'm using my Apple Watch, and I'm tracking my steps and all that, and getting some walking outside. Yeah, I will. And it's an opportunity to burn a couple of calories at midday. Shoot, I might as well talk about this since I'm. Well, the light's about to change. The light's changing. We're walking. We're talking. That's the whole plan of this whole gimbal thing. Please don't hit me. Drive slower. Thank you. Appreciate that. Walking and talking. Walking across the street. Still got plenty of time in the crosswalks, but sometimes people are crazy. You gotta watch yourself. Always gotta watch yourself. I'm writing a book, man, and it's exciting. Putting my professional experience, part of it as a CIO, part of it as a senior management consultant, part of it as an Agile coach. I've worn many hats in my consulting days. Scrum Master, product owner. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it? Come back to me. I think it's because there ain't enough light, and so you have a hard time seeing me. You better now? There you go. I'm a product owner. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why did you do that? Okay, were we still here? I don't know what you thought was me. That wasn't me, but here I am. I did not do a loop-de-loop. I'm not a flying ace here. I don't know why you followed me like that, as in not followed me. Anyway, and that's the thing is here. It's supposed to be tracking my face, and if I move to the right, it's supposed to come with me, and if I move to the left, it's supposed to come with me. And it saw something that it shouldn't have seen. Anyways, product owner, product manager, scrum master, release train engineer, and enterprise agile coach. And I've worn many hats in many organizations, government agencies, corporate, Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies, Boston Consulting Group, Freddie Mac, Fortune Brands. Fortune Brands is an interesting outfit. You maybe haven't heard of them, but you probably heard of Moen, or you've heard of Masterlock. In pretty much every single aisle you can think of in a Home Depot, they got a brand represented there that's under their Fortune brand umbrella. They're doing some interesting things, doing a whole lot of interesting things in the realm of Internet of Things and getting devices to play well with one another, that sort of thing. And my time with Boston Consulting Group, I would say, was really, really edifying. Great organization, great people, really good, healthy culture. Really enjoyed myself there. Worked with hybrid ways of working as we were nearing the end of COVID, which was critical, man, because for that pandemic, as well as future ones, you want to make sure that you can all engage globally, whether if there's a pandemic or not. Sometimes it's just you're overseas and it's a little bit too inconvenient to get everybody to plane travel somewhere. So you got to figure out a way to make do. And I'll just, summarize it. The key is you got to anticipate that some people will be in room. Some people will be overseas in different time zones, different continents. And you want to make sure that they're all equally engaged. So you lean on tools like Mural or Miro, and you don't have people, and this is an interesting thing as an agilist, leaning on a whiteboard with stickies on it, or painter's tape, or yarn, or index cards, because everybody who's remote is disengaged, and you want to make sure that everybody's engaged all the time. So you do all of your work in a Microsoft whiteboard, God help you, or Miro or Mural, and you, with those collaboration tools, get everybody on the same page that way. But yeah, it's interesting writing about my experience, writing about my perspective, and putting it all in a workable format. A lot of people have said, I'm flattered to say, that they had a meaningful human connection with working with me, that I care about people, and I do. And that to me, workplace efficiency and customer satisfaction are all part of a work philosophy and approach where you want a healthy culture of people working together productively so that really good and smart people like it there and decide to stay there longer and put down roots and develop a cultural understanding that goes over more than just years, goes over decades. But there's a lot of work, and you got to tune into the folks you're working with and the people you're building your products for. And that's what my book is about, is finding those ways to collaborate better. And the whole book is From Silos to Synergy, How to Build Unstoppable Teams. And I infuse all of my experience in that. I'm well beyond the first draft now. I know that when a lot of people have purchased nonfiction books, books on business management, that if they have a complaint that I heard the most often is that it wasn't practical. It didn't have any tools. It didn't have any facilitation guides. It didn't have any workshops. It didn't have anything that you could take out of it and actually use in a productive, meaningful way. And my first draft, I made sure that there were some stories, some interesting, fun stories with perspective on leadership and what kind of leadership is the most helpful and what kind of leadership is more challenging for people and will scare away your best people. But mostly it's tools. It's all about ways that people can work together in a productive manner, and I'm at a crossroads here. Yeah, all right. So I'm able to cross the street now. That's the thing all about. And we're walking, man. We're talking. And so all of the overwhelming majority of my chapters, if not every chapter, has already been infused with a plurality of tools. And in fact, I'm at a point right now where every single chapter is chock full of tools, workshops, facilitation guides, artifacts, you name it. And it is all in all in the approach to make sure that anybody who buys this book, come heck or high water, they're going to find something immediately useful in it that they can take out. And I'm already beginning to talk about, hey man, I already have well over 60,000 words worth of just straight tools and artifacts and workshops and facilitation guides, and it would stand to reason that my book come with a separate workbook. But first time doing this is my first rodeo being an author, so we'll see how it all comes together. But either way, I made sure that I offset coming right out of the gate, that anybody who their concern is, oh, I'm not going to like this bookmark because, or dislike a bookmark because it doesn't have tools. That ain't going to be my book. my book comes right out of the gate with the tools and the facilitation guides and the workshops and the artifacts that all the teams I've worked with have found to be the most helpful. And if people who've worked with me before find tools or workshops or facilitation guides that they weren't acquainted with when they were working with me, it is either because somebody in leadership shot it down for whatever reason, and or it's something I discovered later in my career. Either way, best of the best. Sorry about that noise. We'll see how well I do editing this when I get home. But that is what it is, right? Yeah, that's more quietish, quieter. And I just so you know, I knew that quietish isn't a word. Sometimes I like to make up silly-ish words because I think sounding dumb is fun. Quietish, quieter. Anyways, walking up to where the old multiplex is. Yeah. Back when because I was born and raised in this area. I lived in DC for a while, but still in the DC metropolitan area, born and raised, and coming up to where the multiplex used to be, and it's now a Cinemark, and it's just so gosh darn convenient. This is more often than not the movie theater that I come to, seeing as how it's a convenient enough walk from the general area in which I live in, and we're going. But yeah, I'm very excited about how this book is coming together. I got a Substack, which is not in a lot of ways directly related to my writing experience with the book, though I'm going to be infusing takeaways and excerpts as time progresses. But with the Substack, I've been experimenting. I've been playing around. I've been playing around a lot. We'll see how things go. Some of my attempts are fusing parody, and I can get really absurd. I can get silly. I have a theatrical background. I did stand-up comedy for a while. I did improv comedy for far longer. And I put those kinds of guidance and tools and techniques into improving people's workplace culture and workplace efficiency and discovering new ways that people can be creative in the book. But that Collaborate Better, From Silos to Synergy, How to Build Unstoppable Teams, Collaborate Better. But in the Substack, well, it's a different sort of a thing. And there, that's more of a background, an approach, a way of looking at things that I'm not married to any one particular approach yet on my Substack, and I'm honestly there. I have a clear audience in mind with Collaborate Better. I've crafted out personas for startup leaders, managers of any variety of sized teams or collection of teams, as well as people who are on those teams and are looking to step up and find opportunities for career advancement, whether they think of themselves as leadership or not. Just ideas to propose so that they can be not just more successful with their teams, but also more successful with their careers, and give them some great ideas that they can leverage and use those to make their teams produce better products for their customers, improve workplace efficiency, improve their workplace culture, and by doing so, make a name for themselves in their jobs. And maybe I should be embarrassed to say this, but over 2 decades worth of experience with this stuff. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. I went from being a guy who came essentially riding in off the street with a theater and dance major, and I became an insurance rep at this company. And one thing after another, technical issue here, technical issue there. Go figure. We had a server that was kept in a literal coat closet. That was problem. It was a SCO box, Santa Cruz Operations. The operating system went back to the early 70s. The system we were running on it came from, predated the Mondale Ferraro Democratic ticket in the early 80s. It was, old, antiquated stuff. And I dragged all of that hardware, infrastructure, security, lack of encryption, lack of a real database, moved to a SQL server from a flat file system, which, that was a challenge, but a wonderful learning experience. I definitely can say I can help people migrate from a legacy to a modern system because I've seen just about the worst of it. And with all of that perspective, I am sharing a lot about how to make things better. But going back to the Substack, I'm still experimenting and I'm having fun doing it, keeping it colorful, keeping it creative. I have a cousin, Tom, who is a highfalutin guy at IBM, who was integral in working at Watson with AI. Recently was at a conference keynoting on the latest and the greatest trend, vibe coding and that sort of thing. And he's giving me his feedback, and he's not wild and crazy about what I'm doing. Not everybody's saying that they're in love with it, but some people are. Some people are finding it interesting. And I'm open to comments and blending it and taking it in any number of different directions. But all in all, I'm looking to use the Substack to a small degree to promote my book, but I ultimately want the Substack, since I've been exploring the Substack community, and I really I love that space more and more. And I gotta say, for anybody who's worried about journalism and the fact that, there are fewer regional and local newspapers where you can get your local news from, and it's a problem because people, where you going, Smith? Okay, people, you're doing it again. Could you please stop? Tilt with me, not the trees. I'm a person. I want to focus on me, not the trees. Thank you. That approach, that strategy, for what it's worth, I'm just going to quickly note to myself, this seems to be, for whatever reason, more of an issue if the gimbal's in my left hand than my right hand. And maybe because I started with, oh my God, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? If I did a loop-de-loop, I'd understand. I didn't. You're doing it again. Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm here. I am here. Stop going away from where I am. Stay with where I am. Wow. Stop that. I'm trying to turn you towards me and you're turning away from me. That's kind of stupid. Okay, so switching to the right hand. Seems you are, for whatever reason, better over here. Either it's because I started here or lighting for whatever reason. We'll see when I walk back if it's still the same issue. Then I would say it's got some sort of calibration dingus to whatever side you started on, whichever hand you're on. We'll see. But yeah, the Substack is its own thing, and I'm looking to explore my voice there, cultivate an audience. But yeah, if you're worried about regional and local journalism losing a foothold in your life, find it on Substack, man. And once you start finding a few voices, a few writers that you like, you will eventually get to a place where you'll get recommendations from similar voices, and it aligns really, really well. As well as those writers themselves have an opportunity to, when you subscribe to them, tell you who they're reading. So you can discover very, very quickly on Substack your tribe, the voices, the writers you want to connect with the most. And it's great, man. It's great. For what it's worth, I don't consider myself a journalist per se. I've been writing about AI, and I've been writing about branding disasters, and I'm currently writing about companies that took us for a ride and grifted their shareholders and whatnot. That's the current series I'm working on. I already talked about WorldCom, Enron, Bear Stearns, and if you're a subscriber, you can read about Arthur Andersen's downfall within Enron, and also Lehman Brothers off of Bear Stearns, which, it's kind of interesting because that became the largest bankruptcy of all time. Once was WorldCom, once was Enron, but Lehman Brothers, took it and ran with it, and yeesh, hundreds of millions of dollars, 600 million if I remember correctly, catastrophically historic. Not good stuff. We're talking, man. And where to next? Walking across the strip mall. If you can't tell, because it's open 24 hours, but I've been doing a thing where I've been training at home. This is part of it. This is part of my exercise. Actually, going for long walks outside is really good exercise. It's low impact, but you can burn a lot of calories by going for a long stroll, but passing the Planet Fitness. Excuse me. Where I think once I get to a certain level, getting back in shape, I'll stop by there to take my workouts to the next routine. But I got dumbbells, I got workout equipment, I have Bulgarian bags, if you've ever heard of such a thing, and it's great for doing a number of workouts from home. I have a dip station, I have a pull-up station, so I can back extension apparati, so I can do a lot of things from the comfort of my home without pushing the envelope too far. I don't have all the space in the world for my stuff. Probably should economize. That's another conversation. But like I said, man, this is my first go at walking and talking, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it feels over time. But it's a learning experience. But yeah, man, Substack is a great community, and I think it's well worth mentioning that, usual places like Instagram and Twitter, you tend to get into a negative downward spiral there, and it tends to just focus on all the negativity and toxicity in the world. And Substack is just not just a more positive conversation, but a more productive conversation. And yeah, you can find like-minded people, and you can find your tribe of readers and writers, but it's a conversation that's looking more for solutions than looking for playing the blame game and stuff like that. And heavens, man, I feel that's what we really, really need. But as I was talking to somebody who was leaving LinkedIn of all places, and I would say that LinkedIn ain't as toxic as Facebook or Twitter, but it's not as great as it used to be, and it's kind of sort of getting worse. And he recently announced in a note on Substack that he's wholesale left LinkedIn. And I, had a little reply to him, and we had a chat. And I totally hear him, man. I haven't given up on LinkedIn yet, but Substack is a place, as I said in my reply to him, Adam Mattis. He taught a release train engineer course with a scaled agile framework, and a great class. That was back when it was at Safe 5. Now they're at Safe 6. I'm all updated with my certifications, SPC 6 with an RTE 6. But yeah, that was back then. So, kept in touch professionally. He's written a few things, really smart guy, knows his stuff. But yeah, I hear you. Just there's just some people, even on LinkedIn, man, who are just all about muckraking and picking a fight. And it's not a productive conversation. And he or anybody else who leaves there for Substack, it's not like I would say they're retreating the battlefield, but they're moving to greener pastures. And man, Substack is just a lot better. It's a lot greener. You could generalize it and say, well, what is it if you don't know anything about it? And it's got the whole social angle, but it's very much akin to, not the same thing, but akin to Medium and Quora, or any place where you could read blogs, Pulse, which has a relationship with LinkedIn, though a mysterious one. But it's more than that. It's more than that. You can get podcasts there. Like I said, the notes are are essentially tweets that are sent out from writers and readers at a variety of different times for a variety of different reasons, where people are talking about what's happening, man, what's cooking in their life. And they're ready to cross the road again. Here again to a place where we're oh boy, crossing without the advantage of a traffic light, so I really got to keep my head on the swivel here. There's the last bit of cars. Yeah, I'm crossing. We're walking, we're talking, but I'm mostly not looking at the screen because I'm looking at cars that could be wanting to hit me. Here comes one. Slowing down, looking both ways. Trying not to be a statistic. All right, keep on walking. Keep on walking. Yeah. And, oh boy. Good walk. Good talk. All said and done, man. Whether it's this or it's straight up my Substack and my relationship to reading more and more there and writing there and looking to find a unique voice. I have like a cemented view on my experience and who my readers are. As I said, people are founding startups, people who are managers at all levels, people who are members of teams but are looking to proactively have ideas to improve collaboration with the teams that they're on. It may be considering opportunities for advancement. It may be considering opportunities for leadership. My book is your book. I'm looking out for you. I'm looking to give you a wealth of knowledge already packed with tools and workshops and facilitation guides and artifacts. So that complaint that some people have about nonfiction books were like, yeah, it was a whole lot of interesting stories, but nothing I can use in my job. I made sure that every chapter is jam-packed with things that you could use in your job. So much so that I'm hoping that people, sure, you can have the digital copy, and yeah, Kindle and a variety of platforms, you can create notes and whatnot. But it's not the same thing as having a physical copy in my book, literal book, where you scratch notes and you bookmark it, which I find is far more productive than dog ear in it. And you have it in a shared space with people, and that way you have common things that you can reference in and put in your, not just your individual notes, but your team notes in a shared space. So, yeah. It's a thing to discover, I say. All right, I'm gonna try that thing again where I switch to the left hand. You gonna get crazy on me? So far, so goodish, but not perfect. I'm realizing now, maybe it's the angle that I'm holding the thing. Maybe. Try that for a bit. How you doing? I'm talking to you off my left shoulder. Hope you're doing well. Of course, now I can't check in with my watch. That's funny. That's interesting. Did I see I saw a swimming pool over there, and now I'm looking at a couple of smaller swimming pools over here. All right, that's a choice. All right. Nice spot. Virginia's nice, man. It's just it gets a little bit too hot for me in the summertime, but still, the reason why I've born and raised here is because, man, it's good town, good state, lot to take advantage of, a lot of quality. Hey, hit that mark. All right, I'm flipping around, going back the other way. All right, yeah, I'm gonna do a thing where I'm going for like approximately short walk outside. I can walk up to 8 miles fairly easily and not be too overworked by it, but I'm only doing 4 miles a day, half of that, and I'm looking to save some for the tank so I can do a leg workout tonight, and then hopefully go over my I'm revealing all of my Apple Watch junk with you. Hope that you don't mind. And I set my target active calories. If you ever had a Fitbit or you have a Fitbit measures in total calories approximately. It ain't a perfect measuring device. And Apple Watch aims to measure in active calories. So general rule of thumb, and mind you, this is a range, it's not an exact science. I found, because I'm a dork, there was a time where I wore a Fitbit and an Apple Watch simultaneously just to compare. Over time, I decided I liked the Apple Watch better for a variety of different reasons. More features, more apps, or actual apps. It's in color. But if you burn 1,000 active calories on the Apple Watch, you'll find, based on how busy your day was, that the Fitbit will be a much bigger number because it's measuring total calories, and it ain't going to be a 1-to-1 match. It'll be a range of 1,000 calories active. 1,000 active calories for me turns out to be on the Fitbit 2,000 upwards to 3,000 total calories. And I found that, well, what would be a factor that would make a difference? If it was a day where I was working remotely and exercised intensely for a couple of hours, but was mostly sitting at a desk and working like that, then it would probably more to that 1,000 active calories to 2,000 total calories scale. But if it was something where I got up with the chickens right at or before sunrise, and I was running errands, and I was on my feet, or I was doing anything where you maybe wouldn't categorize it as working out, but I definitely was out of the house and on my feet and being active, then that's where I would find that the 1,000 active calories would more often line up with 3,000 total calories on the Fitbit. Either way, stop being a dork and wearing two fitness devices at the same time. But it was, like for that, it was a learning experience. Got a chance to compare both in real time and get a feel for what I like and what are the differences. But yeah, so yeah, if you got a Fitbit and you burn 1,000 total calories, you should probably know that I burned probably only 500 at the most, like active calories, which is to say, if I set my goal at 1,000 active calories, that measure of 1,000 total calories on your Fitbit is going to either double or triple. So there is that. Yes, Alex. So yeah, 1,000 would be 500 to 334 active calories. Anywho, math. Walking back now, and yeah, as you can see, and I've watched a few of these where people are walking and talking with their gimbal and their phone, and usually they stay on the same topic, and I ain't doing that. I'm bouncing around, man. You can't pin me down, dude. You can't tell me what to talk about, but you can say something in the comments. Tell me what you want to hear more about, less about, all that sort of thing. Post all those nasty, horrible comments that people like to do. But for the content that's shared on Substack, I guarantee you it just won't be as toxic or toxic at all, and more supportive or helpful, because it's just better, man. It's just a lot better. And that's, I think, something that we as consumers of social, and yeah, if you have customers who you're trying to reach who are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn are probably more B2B, business to business, but yeah, whatever. You'll find that just Substack is a much more, not just less toxic, but a more productive, meaningful conversation where you get into the knit and the grit of what's up. Walking past the Planet Fitness again, and yeah, this is close to where I live-ish, and open 24 hours, man. It'll be nice to, with my crazy writing schedule, to come here, especially like late at night, if that's when it suits me best. Because I work odd hours these days, and I like it. I like being a writer. I like thinking of myself as a writer. Just have a little bit more work to do in finding and expanding my audience, but like, the metrics say it's growing. I'm on target. I've read up on other people who have bestsellers on Substack, and essentially, I'm still in the starting stage, still only 6 months into it. Whether there or any medium, often had an audience around the same size as me until they settled into a groove. And I'm not looking to push myself into a groove until I find something really unique and really meaningful and fun and rewarding. Like I said before, that's where you guys come in. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like me to share, talk about. Something worth breaking down is, oh boy, it was back in 2023, man, and I went to 3 conferences back to back. Business Agility Conference in New York City, like downtown Manhattan, close to Broadway, and then I went to, a couple weeks after that, Scrum Alliance in Portland, Oregon, and then like a week after that, I went to the Safe Summit in Prague, Czech Republic. Ever been to Prague? Highly recommend it. maybe this isn't the kind of advice you share on whatever my audience, my platform is going to be, but it's well worth noting. You go out and you enjoy the town in Prague, and trust me, you can tell there are a lot of tourists who've already figured this out as they're walking the streets. But it's a cool town, and the tourists don't get that wild, in my opinion. But yeah, beer is less expensive than water definitely in Prague, probably throughout the entire Czech Republic. Which, if you enjoy a cerveza, oh man, is it affordable there? And they know what they're doing, man. It's good local Pilsner Urquell. They have like not just a couple of bars, but a couple of eateries that have traditional Czech food. I went there more than once. It's funny if you talk to people who live in Prague and the Czech Republic's Czechs. They'll be like, you should go there. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know nicer places, but still, this place is new to me. Yeah, it's a chain, but at the same time, it's not McDonald's quality. It's way better than that. It's a pretty good chain restaurant, if dare I say, chain restaurant, chain bar, chain tavern, where could possibly be, in terms of quality, the better chain I've ever been to. Either way, beautiful scenery, beautiful architecture. Prague is not like Dresden, Germany, and up until World War II, people would often compare those two cities for having beautiful old architecture, but Hitler didn't know when to quit when the Allies were bombing them into submission. And unfortunately, the way of the war of attrition works is you make your enemies suffer intolerable losses until they surrender. And and Hitler, though I'm sure a lot of his people, even his most ardent supporters, were like, hey man, our homes have been totally demolished. Your Aryan race BS is clearly proving itself to be abjectly false. Stop it. But he didn't. And Dresden was totally leveled. You go there now, it's a very modern city because we, America, we were against the fascists. We were against the Nazis. And we helped with the demolition. And that's why it's a very modern city. But Prague didn't happen there. Prague it has a lot of old architecture that goes back to Renaissance, medieval era, pre-medieval era. It's amazing and it's beautiful. The Charles Bridge has statuary going all the way across it, and it's all just magnificent. Lots of great places to eat. The Old Town versus New Town, and mind you, New Town was also built during the Middle Ages, so it's new relative to Old Town, but still older than anything you could find in the United States by over 100 years. And just beautiful architecture, beautiful walking squares, beautiful castles, tremendous history. Can't recommend it strongly enough. But going back to me babbling, it all started with Business Agility Conference, Scrum Alliance Conference, SAFE Summit, Scaled Agile Framework Summit in Prague, and all of those conferences, there was this huge conversation happening about AI. And if I'm being thoroughly honest, prior to going to the Business Agility Conference, the first one on the list, I wasn't really acquainted with AI in any practical sense at all. But I eventually got to a point where I am today. I am in like those conferences. All of them had classes. All of them had workshops, Business Agility, Scrum Alliance, a lot of great ones over in Prague, where I learned. I got up to speed. I figured out what's what. And through that, that's something I can write about. And I've already written a silly, mostly silly, mostly parody, though it's got some practical guidance infused in it about consulting in AI and where I see that going. And by silly, like I have one where I compare a human consultant to an AI consultant, and I treat it like it's a boxing match, and I have them going head to head in the bout, round after round, and calling who won each round based on different topics. Last one, I write from the lens of like how AI would think about us if it had a human perspective, and all the derisive things it would say about us. Yeah. Limited viewership so far, but maybe it'll be something that people catch on to and like aspects of, or all of it, and want to see more of it. But yeah, I definitely can write more seriously about AI. There's not a day where I'm not using AI chatbots, prompts, generative AI to one degree or another, creating any number of different viable uses to scheduling, organizing, workflow efficiency, just creating content. One thing I like to do that I use on Substack all the time is it is tremendous for writing blocks. And I gotta say, even if I haven't hit a writing block yet, I'll do something where, I have an idea of what I want to write about next, but I'm not 100% sold in my mind if what I'm thinking of writing is the best thing. So what I'll do is I'll either straight up tell ChatGPT what it is I'm thinking about writing and what other ideas it could brainstorm in brief for me so I can cross-compare. And usually it helps make my ideas stronger. Sometimes I don't go into that direction. Sometimes I'll pick host sale, something that ChatGPT recommends, but not usually. Usually if I use it, it'll either break down my idea into different categories, and it's truly those different categories that gets me thinking about the question of what to write best and how to take it in a meaningful direction and write a dramatic conclusion and all that stuff and keep it engaging and interesting for the reader. It'll say like, well, here's it from an ironic perspective, and here it is from an intellectually well-researched perspective, and here it is from a perspective of adding a tone of existential dread, and here's a perspective of conveying it like, you have a devil-may-care attitude, what have you. And that I find is interesting just for playing out new ideas, and it helps me going forward writing what I'm writing with more confidence because I use it as a companion to flesh out ideas or to consider possibilities. And that's really considering different possibilities, different angles is how I use it. And yes, sometimes I'll hit writer's block and I'll dive right into ChatGPT and then rapidly escape writer's block because it gave me a plurality of different ideas. Sometimes it'll make multiple suggestions and I'll take an adjective from one and then add it to a noun of the other, removing its adjective, so to speak. Just rewording bits and pieces of fragments that it gives me based on how I want to leverage it best. Yeah, it's an interesting process, and I'd love to share that for anybody who's interested. But there again, as I'm exploring ideas, doing this silly thing, walking outside with a gimbal in hand, and talking. I don't even know if the audio is picking up, man. Especially with these cars driving by. People tend to tell me I'm loud, so I presume it's not a problem, but who knows? Maybe it's a problem. Maybe not one iota of this audio got captured at all. That would be fun and interesting. We shall see. Yeah. Walking and talking, man. Walking and talking. And yeah, it's exploring something new. There are people who do this and get an audience with it and get a good dialogue going. And if I can do that to expand on things, gosh darn it, I will. And also, I'm thinking I probably won't edit this. Probably just take it, put it online in raw format, and I won't even worry about getting polished, if at all, until, oh, you're doing that thing again that I told you to never do. Yeah, and I switched it. Oh, dude, what are you doing? Nope, that's not where I am. Up, and yeah, turn back to me. Turn back to me. You're not turning back to me. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, when you're in my left hand, you are stupid. You are just stupid when you're in my left hand. Oh, man. It really seems that you know what you're doing in my right and don't have a clue in my left. Oh my God, you're dumb. Okay, we're switching it back to the right where you can have some... Come on. Yeah, see me? Yeah, stop doing that. Oh my God, sorry for making you seasick. It's a learning curve here. But yeah, this damn thing is dumb in my left hand. Oh God. This is a lot to carry it in my right hand the entire time, man. That's not sustainable. I gotta find a way to be able to train off, dude. I'm gonna have like a right forearm that looks like Popeye and a left forearm that looks like a toothpick. That's not 100% great. That's 100% freakish. That will definitely be a conversation starter. Definitely have to get an anchor tattoo on my right forearm in order to go with that whole Popeye damn thing. That'd be goofy. Good thing I like spinach. Not out of a can though, man. That's disgusting. Gotta have it fresh. Woo-wee! And I haven't adjusted this hat at all. It's a hat that breathes. In addition, you can see it's got a wide brim, and it's got this little drape coming off the back to keep the sun off my neck. And for those who are like, yeah, I got a shaved head, so for anybody who shaves their head for any reason, you got to keep the sun off your scalp, man. Even if your hair, you got some hair, but you're thinning, wear a hat, sunscreen, but a hat is the best thing. And this is one that breathes, so, oh boy, we're going to get too hot, but it's still hot, because it's hot outside. Definitely near to 90 degrees, and I've been walking well over 3 miles now, getting home. Whew. Nearing the halfway mark in terms of how many calories I'm wanting to burn today, but gonna be a situation where I train my legs at the end of the day, so that'll be how I close it out. And yeah, I like it when my legs are in better shape because I'll have restless leg syndrome. I think this is the oversharing segment. Who knows? Restless legs syndrome if my legs are out of shape. For some reason, I'll get those instances where I'm trying to sleep, and then my nervous system will like make my right leg or my left leg just start kick. It's just a thing that happens. Not a great way to win over a lady's affection if she's spending the night with you and you're turned in her direction and you start kicking her, which unfortunately is something that has happened to me before, and it's hard to explain that, like, no, it wasn't subconscious against you. It's just my nervous system when my legs are out of shape. But keep my legs in shape. That doesn't happen anymore, interestingly enough. And walking does a job. It helps considerably, but I don't nix the deal in making sure that I eradicate any instances of restless leg unless I'm doing consistent resistance training on a weekly basis where I'm focusing on my quadriceps with a compound movement like a squat or a lunge, an isolated movement like leg extensions or sissy squats, something for the hamstrings, deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts with like a kettlebell, leg curls, calf raises, and something for the glutes like hip thrusts. And I also find, to a great extent, if I do the way I do back extensions, I stretch out going all the way down, and I do come up in a tight contraction. Some people will tell you you're doing it the wrong way. I'm not doing it with any resistance at all. Wow, I just switched it to my left hand and it's still in the same approximate position. And it's like there's something my fingers are saying that behind the scenes is making the camera go yaga. I'm trying to hold the camera in the same approximate position that the right hand was holding it, because like I said, it just gets to be a little bit much. And it's not just the weight of the phone, mind you, just holding it up, even though it's like less than like what, half a pound, quarter of a pound, it's nothing, the phone. Yes, holding it up, your circulation is restricted from having it in an upwards position. But the gimbal, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. This whole contraption, easily about 10 pounds. It's definitely over 5 pounds. And mind you, when I'm saying 10 pounds, I am including the bit that's got the phone. And also I did a thing, baby.